Welcome back to the Harpreet Singh Show. Today's guest is one of Vancouver's very own singer, songwriter, and performing artists. He's here to tell us about the release of his latest album, Unit 404. Please welcome Dave Bawa. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on your latest release.
Thank you very much.
Produced by Richie Rich.
Yes.
So tell me, how does it feel to be the first Canadian who worked with Richie Rich on a studio album?
Richie is somebody I looked up to my entire life. In South Asian music, he's always been somebody who kind of pushed the barriers. So for me, it was something I really wanted to do. It was on my bucket list. Working with him has been incredible. He's not only a producer for my album. It's not just strictly business. We've grown to be friends. He was just here a few months ago, right. And we went and did interviews, and we've partied together. We talk every day. He's kind of like a mentor in my life as well. So working with him has been nothing short of a blessing.
Yeah, and it's a huge accomplishment. This is your second album, and you've already made such a big step in your career. So tell me a little bit more about your journey working with him. How many hours were you spending in the studio? What was it like?
Yeah, so I was there for a little over 2 weeks. And we'd spend anywhere from it was like a standard, like a work, you go to work, you'd be there at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we'd usually cap it around 5:30, 6 o'clock, right? We'd like to work during the day. Okay. We just found that was a process that worked. It kind of worked for the sound of this album as well. So we'd spend anywhere from 8 to 10, but if the work needed to be put in, don't get me wrong, there was nights where we'd work till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, but we were starting early as well.
Okay, and then there's 11 tracks, so how long did it take you to complete the whole entire album?
I did it, and I actually had a few days left to Atlanta just to hang out. I think we did all 11 tracks in 14 days.
Yeah. And now, when you were making this album, I know there was a lot with it. You're traveling, you're making this music, and you're writing everything out. Did you face any challenges?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I first did Don't Stop, which is the first record that I had released a week prior to the album coming out, that I went and actually I took Paul, my manager, with me, and he helped me write a couple of the lines on the song. So it was, and I was so used to having him around as support, because where This Is Me, I would always bounce my lyrics back and forth off of him. Now at this time I was in Atlanta by myself, so the only person in the studio aside from myself was Richie. So it was definitely nerve-wracking because I wasn't sure that what I was writing was the right material. Right. But it did turn out that was a process I had to go through as an artist, to kind of be 100% certain on my writing, because I don't feel I always was prior to this album. But now I write songs by myself all the time.
Okay, right. And now speaking of your writing, I know a lot of your music and all your lyrics come from who you are as a person, all your life experiences. So tell me a little bit more about that. How do you take your experiences and turn that into music?
I guess it does have to do with what I grew up listening to. I grew up listening to a lot of soulful R&B, a lot of old school R&B, jazz, and a lot of the artists I look up to, whether it's Justin Timberlake, that's somebody who's, newer or was new when I was young, and, Marvin Gaye or Al Green, they always wrote from whatever was going on in their life. So that kind of was an experience. How I do it is, it's kind of hard to put words to it, but you feel something when you're writing a song or when you're composing a song, and it's really hard to feel something that you haven't done or something you're just trying to promote or advertise. So I find it comes off unnatural. So that's kind of the best
it's just everything that comes from heart. And then what do you pick and choose about what you're writing about? Are they things that have just happened in your life? Just something significant that really impacted you?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be something that you feel. It has to be, you're in love, or you went to an awesome party, or whatever it may be that you're kind of going through, or where you are at that point in your life. And that kind of has a lot to do with Unit 404. It was because I kind of, moved to this new place in my life, and Unit 404 is all about those experiences when you make a massive change in your life, and all the ups, downs, and the emotional roller coaster that a person goes through. I kind of just took pen to paper and then made it an album.
And now Unit 404, how did you come up with the name?
That is actually my apartment number.
Okay, interesting.
And it does have a double entendre as well, because we recorded the album in Atlanta. That's one of the area codes for one of the areas in Atlanta. So it kind of was just, it seemed to fit.
Okay, and how do you think this album, what makes it unique? How does it differ from your previous album?
From my previous work, or to be honest with you, with a lot of the stuff that's been out there, I feel that me and Richie, we really went for a sound sonically that is very musical. And I feel like music has kind of gotten to a place where we've lost the musicality of things, live instrumentation, strings, guitars, things that really give the song life. They give it that live feel and give it that thing that's gonna, you know, make it last 5-10 years longer. It's not fad music. Okay. I didn't go with any of the sounds that were just, you know, happening today. And it's very tough to do that when you're making this big project and you're invested so much financially with time, to not go with a fad. So like, you know, I really went with what was true to myself, the sounds I felt were right. But with that, I feel very strongly about the product that is something that's going to, you know, really change the face of South Asian music.
Okay, so people can expect a variety of things with this album.
Absolutely,
Lots of different things. Okay, and now what would you say is your biggest takeaway, you know, working with Richie Rich?
Just to stay in your own lane. Okay. That's the most important thing that I think he teaches me every day, because when I do get antsy on myself, like, oh man, like, you know, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, and you almost try to change your flavor or whatever, and not for the right reasons or not for, you know, not in a good way. He always kind of taught me to know, just stay in your lane. If you really feel true about this kind of music, emotional music, or whether it's heartfelt music, and that's all I write, that's all I do. Right. So, you know, that's something that I've really taken away from him.
Okay, so now I want to talk to you about your lyrics and how your music is really unique, because you're really breaking barriers between cultures. You know, you're using Punjabi lyrics, using English lyrics. So what inspired you to combine the both? Because it's not easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is a question I've been asked ever since I started. Yeah. And you know, the best way to answer it is, if you know, you're born out here, I'm born out here. If me and you were to have a conversation, if I was to throw in a few words of Punjabi, you pick up what I'm saying. And I felt that was kind of the way we were going, is that we don't speak a full, you know, sentence or a full conversation all in Punjabi or one language. So I kind of just started writing that way. I wrote the way that I spoke. Okay. And that's why I felt the transitions, you know, are so seamless, right? And musically as well, I could never really just like switch gears and be like all, you know, Punjabi one day or all R&B. My iPod is such a smorgasbord of different music, different genres. So I kind of, you know, blended that as well.
Yeah, so you did what's natural to you.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
just comes out easier for you. Okay,
yes.
So how are you keeping up with all the latest music trends now? What are you doing?
To be honest with you, I still listen to the same stuff. I only listen to what I think is good to my ears. There's some amazing music coming out today, and there always will be amazing music coming out, but I am a sucker for the old stuff, right? Okay. So whether it's, you know, really old R&B or really old Bhangra music, I kind of listen to a lot of stuff that kind of, you know, that fits right in my ear, sort of thing.
Okay, and now what's next? I know you just released your latest album. What do you have coming up next? Any traveling, shows, new albums, maybe?
Well, I mean, I'm always working, to be honest with you. I'd like to be in the studio almost every single day. Okay. So I'm always working on new music, but at the moment, you know, we'll be promoting this album out here. We'll be doing shows, obviously, locally as well as internationally, and then we are heading across the seas in the new year to promote the album, because we do have a large fan base in the UK and India and that sort of thing. So just doing what we do.
Okay, so you're going to continue doing what you do with your music. Lots more traveling coming up for you. Well, I wish you the best of luck with all of that. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.